This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, the series name. What's going on?
Well, this is something I've been waiting to do since the beginning of the year. In fact, I probably mentioned I was looking forward to doing this. I'm going to do my best of 2017 podcast.
Okay, all right. Well, cool. What are we going to be talking about then?
Okay, we are talking about Genshiken's second season, which is a manga series that I've been writing about regularly. Well, semi-regularly, up until the point where I read the scanlations and then just said "fuck it." So now, bit of a recap. John and I, we talked about the original 9-volume serialization back when the series was published by Del Rey, and we generally both enjoyed it in the sense that it was a grounded look at anime fandom, and it looked at its quirks, its issues, and its problems in a nice, more affectionate, humorous light. Right, John? I mean, you've got generally good memories about the first series, right?
Yeah, it was kind of from a college or university club perspective, kind of like the updated Otaku no Video kind of a thing, in a lot of ways, with a little bit more personal, relationships thrown in, right?
Yeah, it's you had this good grounded characterization from creator Kiyo Shimoku, and it was great. I mean, it was a lot of fun. The original series was great, and so when they announced they were doing that, he had gone back to revisiting the series for a new run. I thought this was gonna be great, man. It's the creator coming back, giving us another generation's look at this. It's oh man, I can't wait. And 12 volumes later, and it's well, I tend to bring in one man when it comes to suffering along with me on a series. And so everyone, I'd like you to welcome back my good friend Steve Bui. Hey Steve, how you doing?
Why'd you bring me in? Why?
Cue applause. Oh wait.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. So I mean, Steve, aside from Molester Man and Onani Master Kurosawa, which series I specifically brought in that you like, that I asked you to talk about. You've also talked about Future Diary and
Fuck you.
Wounded Man.
Fuck you. I'll never forgive you.
Yep, that's about. And unfortunately, I guess we're probably in agreement that Genshiken's second season is probably closer in quality to those series than the ones you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, well, look, it's not terrible. I mean,
no, it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not terrible.
It's just could have been better, and kind of for a series that started in such a grounded place. It's here's an anime or manga anime culture club, right? And it's awkward, it's full of otaku and whatever, right? It's very grounded. Then we get into Madarame harem land, and that's when things start going off the rails.
Yeah, it's the core of Genshiken. It's revealed several volumes in that it wants to take a grounded look at a harem situation, evolving not real life, but in the grounded setting of Genshiken, which it's not a bad idea, but the way it's done, it's even Shimoku's really impressive characterization skills can't save in the end. Now, to be fair, it doesn't start out that way. I mean, the first volume does have a nice Genshiken next generation setup. In that you got Ogiwe, the famously anti-otaku militant who eventually mellowed out and hooked up with point of view character Sasahara in the original series. She's running the club, and she gets and we're introduced as she's doing the membership drive for this new college season, and she gets some interesting people. We get the heavy set otaku Yajima, the who's got pretty mainstream tastes. You got Yoshitake, who is the loquacious history buff who just cannot stop talking at all. And then there's Hato, who who's you're you're being fairly reserved otaku compared to the other two until it's revealed that Hato is actually a guy, and it's like, okay, that's fine. And it's like, and like a lot of the early volumes are kind of focused on digging into Hato's fudanshi nature, someone who likes boys love or yaoi material, and just why he's like that. And you think that, okay, this is probably going to be the focus of the series, digging into his gender issues and figuring out just what makes him tick. And okay, it's there's some interesting material there. I mean, and the first couple of volumes do have are probably the closest it comes to recapturing the original spirit of Genshiken in terms of making manga. It's embracing fandom. Only now there's definitely more fujoshi or rotten girl or yaoi living fangirls focus here, which is to be understood because it's girls running the Genshiken now. So, and that's fine. Steve, your got any specific thoughts about the series before the Madarame Harem's storyline takes over?
No, I feel like you kind of got most of it. It feels up till the harem sitch starts going on. It feels like, oh, we're getting a continuation of the first season ish. It's like, hey, a new generation showed up and new wins, but they're the same but different. They like different things, but they're the same kind of people you see in a college anime club, right? And then stuff happens.
Yeah, it's it's kind of the same but different. I mean, it's kind of stuff you'd hope for a good sequel. It's but then as we find out early on, is that we get the impression that we know that Madarame isn't over his infatuation with Saki from the original series, and this eventually culminates in volume 5 with a with the clubroom confession from Madarame. It's that he finally admits to his love, and she shoots him down. But it's kind of it's meant to be hey, it's he's done this, now he can get on with his life. Only no, that's not what happens. In fact, he just kind of sets him into a lull and sends the series just kind of spiraling down from there. Now, I didn't like this because I like the fact that Madarame had kind of come to peace with his feelings for Saki in the original series, in the sense that hey, that we didn't have to have this big confession, that he just made his own peace with it, and that was how we were going to go. That was a nice break with convention. Now, the way he confessed was certainly emotional and well handled in the series, but from what it leads to, oh dear God. Well, because the way things work out from here, after he finally passes this Saki shaped gallstone, you've got it's kind of revealed that Madarame has basically 4 potential suitors for his affections. So you've got Hato, the crossdresser, who has feelings for Madarame through his thorough obsession with yaoi and boys love. Then you've got Angela, the blonde big bosomed otaku who visits the Genshiken on twice a year. Then you've got Keiko, the the trendy gal who is original point of view character Sasahara's sister, but she's now working at a hostess club, and she has uncanny ability to shoot through Madarame's defenses, and is the closest analog he's got to Saki. And you've got Sue, who is for some reason wound up as as a regular like member of the college that the Genshiken students attend, even though she is apparently unable to communicate in anything beyond anime catchphrases, and it's like okay, so you're going to like set up a harem with these characters. The biggest problem of which it's like why the fuck would any one of these characters like have like fall for Madarame? Steve, you like how were you able to suspend disbelief at all in this regard?
They try to hand wave it a bit. They have a bit of he has a bit of hand wringing where Madarame has a bit of hand wringing where he's like, how did this happen to me? Why are all these girls on me? That sort of thing. And so they try to hand wave it a bit with the whole, attraction isn't really it sometimes isn't really explained all that, but it feels really weak sauce. Because I mean, have you seen the guy? Have you guys looked at him? Like, you know what you're getting into here, right?
It's that sexy snaggletooth.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Look, I mean, yeah, attraction doesn't have to make sense, but god damn it, guys, like you gotta have something to start with. Like Angela shows up, and for whatever reason, she's like, "Oh, I want your nuts." Sue is just
she's on
weird alien. Yeah, she's just some weird alien, and for some reason she's into him. Okay. Keiko just wants someone to cheat on her boyfriend with. And Hato, well, Hato's like the only one who leaving aside the fact that he's a guy, he seems like the only one who where their relationship is like where the feelings seem the least weird. If that makes any sense. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing, because of the ones you described, of all the like suitors for Madarame's affection, the one that made the most sense to me is actually Keiko.
All right, go. Why?
They when it's like when Kugeyama takes like Madarame to that hostess club, and it's the one that they knew it was the one that Keiko works at. And she's kind of like and she and like Madarame start sniping at each other. It's like that actually felt like chemistry to me. They've got they've actually got like some kind of thing going right there. And
it feels the most natural. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, it's like it felt. Yeah, it's like it felt genuine. It's like it's like I kind of felt like things would have gone like in an interesting direction if it's like she had said, "Oh, hey, my boyfriend's gonna show up in a bit." It's like, oh man, it's like that was actually one of the highlights of the latter half of the series, where like I thought, wait a second, where it was at that point it was really kind of questionable as to why why and how this harem could have developed around Madarame. And then when he did this with when he did this business with Keiko, it's like I thought, wow, this actually makes sense. Maybe Shimoku can make this work in the series. And that's basically when I became a part of Team Keiko for the for this latter portion, for all the good it did me. So
no, I hear you. Okay. I forgot about that part. Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, I'd say both. I'd say Hato and Keiko. If we want to be generous, then yeah, they feel like the most honest or genuine or most the least impure reasons for a relationship. Although again, there's that whole Keiko's actually got a boyfriend thing.
Yeah, but she dumped it.
She did.
Yeah, she's like when they go to the on the graduation trip. She reveals that, oh yeah, I dumped that guy later on. So it's like I can believe that because she seems like a complete player. So
all right. Yeah. Well,
but
fair enough.
But here's the thing with Hato. I mean, my problem with Hato, it's not that he's a guy. It's just that the fact that he seems more into it's like more into Madarame is just kind of a narcissism in the sense that it's like, hey, it's like I'm really into the idea of being in love with a guy, and that hey, Madarame is just like the most likely guy to fit that role, like in the area. I mean, there's this one point where Yoshitake is like laying down all the reasons why like Madarame is so unattractive. It's like, and then at one point when Hato walks into the room and like he sees that she's laying all this out, it's like, oh, but these are the reasons I think he's so cute.
Okay.
What the fuck, man? Because like unemployment, so hot, man. Yeah. so that's kind of like when you have to call bullshit right there, because unemployment is an instant turn on to any woman. I'm sure that we can all agree on this, right, guys?
See.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty hot. It's pretty rough to seem attractive when the money isn't coming in. You can't provide. It just I don't know. It just doesn't work.
Exactly. So I mean, it's like that's kind of like a deal breaker when it comes to it's like when it comes to like accepting Hato as a legitimate romantic fixture for Madarame. Like, and I don't know, it's like they just like a lot of the time that he spent with Madarame is kind of like spent analyzing their relationship, just like saying reasons why it would or wouldn't work, rather than just showing them having a good time and enjoying each other's company. It's like,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that part because they're both confused throughout the whole series. And I'll point out what I thought was done well, even though overall didn't think it was super great.
No, please do.
This one bit, it's fine. They're both confused, right? They're both kind of like unsure about where their sexuality lies, right? And I mean, you've got Madarame who's constantly asking himself, like, but he's a guy, right? But what's going on here, right? So they're both confused, right? They're both trying to work things out. So I'm totally okay with that. They're both trying to work things out. I'm okay with that aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I think that my biggest issue with this is just aside from like that whole reasons why Madarame is cute bit, but also just the fact they just don't have any chemistry in their scenes together. But one of the things, to move on to the other things, with Angela, she seems to be attracted to Madarame solely from a trolling aspect, in the sense that she loves his reactions as he's just I can't handle this big bosom blonde girl it's like, and if he had just made one movement towards her, that would have ruined it, like when Kuchiki tries to feel her up. When he's paired up with her in the in that tour at the end, she just zips right up, and it's like, yep, that's how it would have gone if Madarame had any guts. So, but then we have to get to the elephant in the room, and Steve, and to anyone listening, I got to authorize spoilers for this. We got to talk about Sue.
All right. Spoiler alert, blah, blah, blah. All right, go.
Yeah, Sue is just not a proper character. She is just a person, this device that is dropped into the series to quote famous lines and memes. And it's on that level, I'm fine with that. It's if you want to have and if you want to ask me hey, it could this blonde lily girl from America get away with this shit? Yeah, I'm willing to bet she could, and so she is. So on that level alone, she works within the the realm of Genshiken. It's so, but when you actually start having to assume that she's a real person who is deserving of actual human emotion, who can actually interact with Madarame on a emotional human level, no. Fuck no. This is bullshit.
So they don't develop her language anymore? Or is she just she just spits out memes, is what you're saying?
That is pretty much it for 99% of the time that she's in the series.
So she gets zero. She gets zero language development. Therefore, she gets no character development.
Like I said, 99% of the series, because she does drop things for a second to confess to Madarame, and it's like, but it is the very definition of too little, too late. And also, it's still like her confession is basically right out of like stock, confession stuff. So it's like, okay, I see.
So wait, so even if you were trying to, even if you wanted to believe her, it still comes out as something canned, and it's hard to even know if she's being sincere or not.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like her character is just like developed in the worst way possible. And like, Steve, am I missing anything here? Is there something that you want to add? Like,
no, I don't. Not really. I mean, you're hitting the points pretty well here. Like, she's just weird, right? It's not. She doesn't get a chance to ever be a proper character. So
yeah, I think it was Keiko who said that she seems like she's on the spectrum or something.
I don't really care where she is or not on any sort of spectrum. Well, all I know is that if you want to empathize with a character, you gotta be able. They gotta communicate, right? You have to be able to empathize with them, right? And here you've just got this alien dropped in who interacts like. There's that one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where the Enterprise runs into this.
Yes.
You remember it, right?
Yeah, John, you should know this too.
Oh, I was gonna go there myself, but yeah, he's right on.
It's like, yeah, it's funny for a plot device, but as far as like for realsies, can we have a talk here? It doesn't work so well.
But Next Gen made it work. So
yeah, they did, but you don't have to see that race of aliens ever effing again. You have to live with Sue throughout the course of the series. All right.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess, like, before we get into like what really ruins the series for me is that it's like at one point at the end, like, there's a point where Madarame basically kind of self-destructs the harem and basically says, I can't pick any of you, and here are the reasons why. And you know what? They're actually pretty good reasons. I guess even as far as Sue is concerned, to be honest. And it's like, I thought that that kind of feels like Madarame to me, like the guy who would just kind of like just say who would just just say, fuck it, I'm gonna see how far I can fall, wallow in my own misery. That point, actually, if they'd ended the series there, I would have loved it, but they didn't, did they, Steve?
No. I mean, they had to have some sort of ending, and I suppose we're going to get into spoiler land here, but
yeah. So
go on then.
Yeah. So here's where we're talking about the spoiler territory. In case you hadn't guessed it from all our build-up before, well, at the end when we meet up with the original Genshiken cast, which is a great, fantastic bit of fan service, Saki basically tells Madarame, fuck it. It's like you need to hook up with Sue because she's the only one you didn't have a legitimate reason to reject, because she's like your ideal blonde blue-eyed lowly character. So we get what should have been a big affirming Madarame seizing his destiny, where he asks Sue out in the most anime mem version of confession you can expect, but it's kind of like, fuck this shit, man. It's just like the most awful otaku catering bullshit that you'd expect. And the fact that he winds up with Sue, that he winds up with, it's like he doesn't wind up with a proper character. He winds up with the one member of his harem that reflects his tastes, rather than just connecting with him on any kind of recognizable human level. It's just like it made me and we go, fuck this. I mean, it's like I was willing to give Genshiken second season the benefit of the doubt, like for all this harem bullshit, as long as Sue wasn't the end, like the one who wound up at the end, because she's just the one he couldn't. She's the one who just does not make any goddamn sense. The one who just like reduces Genshiken to being just like otaku catering bullshit that its critic says it is. And it's like when he does wind up with her, it's like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. I'm gone. It's like I'm just gonna like sit here and complain and whine and fuck this and oh man, jeez, Steve, help me out here, man.
You sound super. I didn't know you were this bitter. I knew you weren't super happy. I didn't think you were this bitter about it.
It's I don't know. It's like it's just that it's like I don't know. It's like this is like one of the rare series where it basically came down to like this thing. Like I was willing to hold out hope that it was going to turn out all right, but it's kind of like when he wound up with Sue, it's like it's just kind of like every benefit of the doubt I could give this series just went right out the window.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not happy about it either. I'm not as unhappy as you, but yeah, I'm not super pleased about the way it all ended. I mean, I don't know. Can we talk about something other than like how much Sue makes you sad and mad about things?
Sure. Yeah. In fact, it's like I think one of the biggest issues with the latter half of the series is how much the harem plotline sucks up the oxygen from stuff that could have been really interesting. From bits like like with Hato, interacting with remember the girl who inspired his look?
No, I'm afraid not.
Where she was his the girl who his brother fell in love with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was an interesting character, and she only showed up like twice in the series. And then we also had those girls from Hato's high school years, where like one of them was like really had the hots for him, but like she only showed up twice either. And we never heard from her after that second time. Back when after the whole Madarame harem like picked up from full steam.
Yeah, I think that's okay because I mean they want to keep the focus, right? They want to keep the focus on the club members here. So
yeah, okay,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and as far as club members go, I mean, like I said, I wanted more done with Yajima and Yoshitake. I mean, Yajima, it's like there's some interesting bits done in the latter half when she's shown to have like some real potential as a manga creator, but we never really dig into that. Even though we do get some interesting developments between her and her feelings for Hato and that relationship, and that's kind of like something that's like her relationship with Hato is like something that I really like seeing like over like addressed in the like in the series, and like it's like and like when she like in the final volume when she like realized that she was like, hey, I do have a plan for like getting Hato to fall in love with me, but it's going to take a while. And it's like, and when it's all centered around her, developing her skills as a manga creator, that's something I liked. I would have loved to have seen more of.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
I
go
insist. On. No, but I insist.
Okay. Well, Yoshitake, who she's an interesting foil, like. And like it's fun to see her high maintenance shenanigans like over the course of the series, and like but even then like all just about everything she does in the series is kind of like in service of like the romantic entanglements of the like in Genshiken, and I would have loved to have seen her like I don't know, I guess get more of a personality and ambitions like beyond that. So like I said, she's utilized well like in the story we got, and her sister, like her younger sister is great fun. I would have loved to have seen her show up more over the course of the series than she did. So there you go. I mean, and overall, it's like these characters like do feel real. It's like and like they're not just like like kind of cardboard cutouts or like pieces of fanboy wish fulfillment.
They're not Sue. They're not Sue.
Yeah, it's like Sue is the exception. I mean, it's like you've got the like the majority of the characters like are like really well fleshed out and compelling. I mean, that's like really why like the ultimate outcome of the series is really depressing in my opinion, in the sense that you've got Shimoku's like considerable like skills of characterization just dedicated to servicing a premise and an outcome that just doesn't work. And that's what makes it, that's what makes like the ultimate, like the series like ultimately like all the more depressing in the end, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? On the topic of like characters who are like real and cool,
Yeah.
Okay, kind of a bit of a Deus Ex Machina with the way she shows up again to set Madarame right, or whatever, however you want to describe it. Right is a very relative term here. Saki, she shows up again, right? She puts the story back the way it needs to be, or wherever it needs to be headed, right? She's a straight shooter. I've always liked straight shooter characters. She's like the best character, right? She just shows up and just says things, right? She's just like no bullshit, just says shit. Shit happens, It's good. Wish there was more of her. I understand she had to take a back seat with the second season because she's graduated, and actually, you know what? No, that's not a good reason. Why was there less of her? I get that she's not a regular member of the club anymore, but.
Well, we hung out at the same anime club for years afterwards.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why there was a lot less of her, because I felt like she was always a really good character.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess you're right. I guess like just what bothers me is that she basically like kind of enables Madarame, like for like enables the whole otaku wish fulfillment. That kind of bugged me about the end of the series,
Yes. Like I said, she put the story where it was needed to be headed, right? I know that's maybe not where you want it to be headed, but
Yeah, that's true. So, but I don't know. It's like I mean, like I guess in the end, it's like, I mean, the first season, like the first series of Genshiken is kind of like my, or maybe even our, time at a college anime club that was like really, really fulfilling and like influential on our like on our past in life. And the second season is kind of like, like kind of, for me, it's kind of a reminder of like, hey, eventually it's like, you got to move on from this shit. It's like, you can't stay at college forever. Yeah.
I mean, in that respect, it does execute on that pretty well, right? You got to grow up, right? On that note, right? On the note of like characters and clubs and social gatherings,
yes.
You mentioned him briefly. The ever so nasty, no one likes him, but he's there because he's pitiful. Kuchiki.
Yes.
He's always there. Oh God, he's like worse than a non-presence, right?
He's like, okay, for 90% of his time in the series, he is like the worst.
He is the worst. All right, but no one can ever lay down the law with him and say, hey, get the hell out, because he's just so pitiful, right? You just can't do that, right?
It's one of those things like you realize, like, okay, you know what? We've all been in that situation where we've like kind of like felt like the wrath of like other people saying like, hey, you're a loser. It's like, you're not worthy of being here, and like you don't want to kick this guy out because like because like if you're in an anime club, you probably felt like the wrath of the outsider at some point. Yeah. So, and that's basically what it comes down to. Even though like for Kuchiki, it's like you understand like, oh wow, all those guys hating on us, they really they may have had a point. It's they may have had a point. God damn it! It's like he's the kind of guy who makes you realize that maybe some of those, that all the people who hated on us had a point. God damn it! It's like why does it have to feel so real? It's like this is how like Shimoku's good at sketching out his characters.
Yeah, when he wants to, he can. He can really home run these things, you know? Uh,
Yes,
and then okay, no, I'm not going to talk about her. I'm not going to talk about her. It makes you sad and it doesn't contribute to anything here, all right? So, yeah, Kuchiki really good. Like again, to the end, like I feel like he was as distasteful of a character as he was, I felt like he was really well done. You know, it's just yeah, you can't kick this guy out of here, right? He's not gonna fit anywhere else, right? You can't leave, you can't kick him out of here. So, you put up with him, right? You just kind of put up with him.
absolutely. I mean, but excuse me. It's like but at least at the end though, it's like he's at least written out fairly gracefully, so or at least as gracefully as you could expect from him.
Yes, in my notes here, I have he's still socially awful, and I can't say that he's actually an okay person somewhere deep down, but at least he's human, right? I mean, that's the best I could say about him.
Yes.
I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to indict him. I'm not trying to pass judgment here, ish. But yeah. I mean, he's a human character, right? And it's good. It's a very real character. I liked that. I don't like him, but I like the character, right?
Yes. Very much agreed, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and I guess I think we can probably agree that we'd definitely be up for reading more, or at least another series from Shimoku at some point, like whatever he's got on tap, like after this series. I'm not sure if he's moved on to now.
He's been I don't know if I think it's still going. He's been working on Spotted Flower, which is sort of like an alternate reality, alternate reality. Well, it's not Genshiken, but it takes some of the characters from there, creates thinly veiled analogs of them, right? And then just writes a story for them. Okay?
Are they fighting off zombies in this alternate reality?
No, they are not.
That seems to be the hot thing to do these days.
No, afraid not. Though it worked very well for certain series in Japan, not so much here. Okay, so you've got not Madarame, right? Who's now married to not Saki, right? And they have a kid, right? And then stuff happens from there. But the only part I have read up to was, the part where she's preggers, and then she has a kid, and that whole time, like Madarame doesn't want to put it in her because he's not. That whole pregnancy thing kind of scares him. It's like he's there all over. He's this weird, awkward character all over again. It's done pretty well. Like he just takes these characters, ports them in a new setting, and then just writes a story with them. If you find it somewhere, you should probably read it. It's good. It's good.
It does not appear to be on our usual site for these things, so it's like I will have. It's like I'll have to like hit you up for its location like after we're done here.
Sure.
Okay, but that does sound interesting. It's like, and like I said, I would love to see like his considerable characterization talents passed on to a new series. Hopefully, I mean, maybe we'll see it in a legitimate American release at some point. But I don't know. It's like this point. Well, Genshiken.
Don't
Genshiken first season. Yeah, Genshiken first season. Absolutely recommended. Genshiken second season. No. So for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to get closure, on it, you go ahead and read the second one. But, the whole harem situation, if you're okay with suspending your disbelief, and you're totally okay with that, especially, and I say that not in general, because a lot of anime is about just suspending your disbelief, right? I'm saying for this series in particular, which has felt so grounded, and then goes off into, fucking, Madarame harem land. it's a bit jarring.
Yeah, but if you want a good harem series, I've got one to recommend. It's like, and that would be, it's like Tsutomu Nihei's excellent Knights of Sidonia, right, Steve? Right?
I wouldn't recommend it for the fucking harem, and it's not really, right?
Well, he's got the hermaphrodite. He's got the lieutenant captain of the ship. He's got the phallic tentacle girl. He's got the tsundere android. He's got the it's like the 200-year-old actual captain of the secret society of the ship. That seems like a harem to me, man.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'd forgotten about all those characters. I only remembered a couple of them.
And remember, yeah, he actually makes a decision about which one he wants, like by the end of the series.
Okay. I remember that too now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. For anyone who's actually seriously paying attention to this, don't read it just for the harem. God damn it, please no. It's actually a really good series. That thing just sort of happens later on, so don't worry about that.
Isn't it a mech anime? Ooh.
Yes! Yes, it's a sci-fi mech anime.
All right, just checking.
Yeah, no, you're totally on the point. That's what it is, mainly. It's just,
it's
I don't know.
The harem stuff sneaks up on you. It's great.
Shut the hell up right now!
Oh man, it's like I said, it's like the best kind of harem series because it doesn't actually advertise itself as a harem series until it's too late.
Well, you know what I find? Okay, so I'm gonna switch it back to second, whatever, Genshiken. So it's a little disappointing, I guess, that it would, that it takes a turn into something that really, I mean, didn't have to be. I mean, they could have done a better job with it, I suppose. And that's what I'm hearing. And and I mean, I haven't read it. I think maybe I have like the first few volumes, or maybe I've even seen the anime. Which I think the anime tends to parallel the manga fairly closely, if I'm not mistaken.
They did do an anime like of the second season. Yeah. I don't know how far into the series, like into the manga it got.
I stopped watching for one reason or another, not simply because I was like disgusted or anything with it, but because I don't know. It was no. I mean, I really enjoyed the first series, if you will, But when everyone left, I was like, oh, I'm not really interested in these characters as much as I didn't feel like I was invested in them. Maybe that was the thing, And then so maybe, hey, you drag out Metarame, hey, you drag in Saki, you drag in these people. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm okay, all right, that's fine. So I I know some of the characters you're talking about, so they weren't alien to me. But it's like, okay, if you're gonna turn into a harem, situation, I'm like, okay, so now we've kind of made this kind of, this turn, where it was kind of a nice slice of life kind of a thing, and then we've now made it a harem situation. I don't know if I mean, like, okay, fine, Although I did think, our cross-dressing, what was his name?
Hato.
Yeah, Hato. I was like, oh, okay, interesting, I guess, because I liked how, it was like everyone was like, wow, he's so beautiful as a girl, like they didn't even know, I think originally that he was cross-dressing.
Well, right? It's like it eventually it becomes obvious that he's a guy really quick.
Yeah, so. Yeah, right. So anyway, well, all right. I guess that's one way to put it. And then you said his follow-up series was kind of like not. What did you say? Not Metarame and not Saki? Was that who it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And that kind of made me go like, that's interesting. Where have I heard that before? I swear to you that I've seen something like that. Like it's like, okay, well, I didn't have the freedom to really do it the way I wanted to here, so I'll reinvent it and throw it into this and here. I don't know. Well, no, and it's not really the first time that's ever happened. I think creators go, you know what? I have this idea. I couldn't really flesh it out in this series, but I'm gonna do it in this one. So, all right, well that's cool. Anything else, gentlemen?
Well, like I said, like if you want a good like grounded otaku series, go read the original Genshiken. If you want a good harem series, go read Knights of Sidonia. But it
Shut
sneaks
up!
on
Shut
you.
up! Shut up!
You just want to twist the blade in his back, huh? It's like, all right. So, okay, well, cool. So there it seems like that's a recommend. Well, I don't know. That's a. Would you recommend this series then? I mean, generally speaking. Okay.
No,
All
no, I guess I would not. The fans of the original series, it's best you just like go with the original 9 volumes and not the this 12 volume these misguided 12 volumes.
All right.
Seems a little strong, but all right. All right, I generally agree with you.
All right. No,
Generally
and what's your opinion? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, yeah, all right. I think I already said my piece on it.
you
It's
did.
just, if you really gotta get closure on this, if you
Right.
really gotta, go ahead. But
Hey, God
otherwise,
knows closure's a hell of a drug.
it,
I think it sounds like a warning. It's like, okay, if you need it, but beware that things may fall off the cliff or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. Right? And just go in. You've been warned. You've been warned. Jason has given you a firm get the hell away, get out, get out, get out. And I'm saying, be aware of the danger. And don't say we didn't warn you. But if you really gotta do this to yourself, go right ahead.
Proceed.
That's a good way. That's a good way to cap things off, Steve.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Anything else, guys?
No, that's it.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Click.
All right, laters.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.